Recruiter here, the Headless Headhunter, getting you ahead of your job search by reviewing your resume. The resume we have up first is a Cybersecurity Analyst. This person has stated that this is the short and brief resume I have only used for entry-level positions, trying to keep it at one page. You don't have to. I don't know why everybody gets so caught up on page length. You really, as long as I find what I need in the first half of the first page, we're good. It can be 2 pages, 3 pages, or 1 page. Doesn't matter. I am a recent graduate and nobody has gotten back to me. I don't list my clearance as it's not top secret, and I don't list my military background. It's not in IT. I also don't have any relevant work experience or internships. Okay, so if that's the case, we're going to be focusing on projects. Projects are where it's at. So I reviewed this resume in 20 seconds for the meet or yeet, where I decide if you get yeeted and deleted or meet the hiring manager. And to the shock of not many people, it was yeeted. This resume is almost entirely blank. I understand you have a full resume here. This has nothing I need. I found a single thing that I need. So the first thing is this doesn't count, nor does this. There is a lot of confusion about skill sections, so I'm here to clear it up. Skill sections are worthless. They do not help you. You need to delete them. I cannot use anything in the skill section as a qualification. And I am not hunting keywords. That is a misconception. People think, oh, these are keywords that you're looking for. They are not keywords. They are qualifications. And the difference between that is I am looking for qualifications. I need to see how you are qualified for the role. And I can't do that in skill sections or summaries. They do not show me how you did the qualification and the reason or result of doing the qualification and where you did it. That is why they are worthless. If you have a skill section, it doesn't count. At best, it's ignored and does not hurt you. At worst, which is most often, it takes away valuable time and it will actively hurt your application chance. So I'm here to set the record straight. Skill sections, do not put them on. There is a difference, unless you're a director level. Directors get away with weird stuff because directors are a completely separate resume. So what we were looking for is your degree, Python, PowerShell, or SOC. Certifications, there are way too many for me to list. I just need to see that you had some. Then CISP, CISM, CEH, CompTI. Again, those are certs. Protocol systems and methodologies. Firewalls was big. IDS, IPS, SIEM, antivirus and vulnerability management. Anything involving Cisco is nice. Anything involving cloud. TCP, IP was huge. That wasn't a majority of them. SOs, the rest of those, CIS, ISOs, and a bonus for security clearance and federal policy. So the problem is you listed every single one of those practically here, which I can't use, so that's worthless. Then we get to the project experience where I actually want you to list it, and you didn't say any of it. The only thing you said was DNS, and I might need that. But like this is where you put these. So I don't know what a malware analysis lab is. You did not tell me. Again, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for multiple malware strains. I'm looking for firewalls. I'm looking for Python. I'm looking for PowerShell. I'm looking for anything involving cloud, TCP, IP. And then we go down here, and again, there's nothing here I'm looking for. So this is the part where you can actually put your qualifications on, and you don't show it. It's the smallest part of your resume. And then we go down here, and this is a line fuel technician. And there's nothing here I can use. A technical incubator is actually okay. The reason I think this is okay down here is it shows you've been working the same job for 4 years. That's a green flag. But you can just put a single bullet point that says what you did and put this into one line, and that would be the equivalent. And then you have your certs and education down here, which I'm actually looking for, and it's all the way at the bottom. Guess what? I only had 20 seconds. I could not find those in that time. They need to be up at the top. So how you need to rewrite your resume is, A, it should look like this, all right? This is how to do it. This is what it should look like. Your education should be here, and then the certs right under it in another bullet point. Then I want your work history to look like this. In this case, I don't want the work history. I want your projects, because your projects are where you actually got these qualifications. So I need those. And I need you to tell me what you actually did. This is nothing. Developed a personal use music bot using Node. Cool, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for PI hole Raspberry DNS sync. Why am I looking for that? I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for firewalls. I'm looking for antivirus. I'm looking for cloud. I'm looking for PowerShell. This is what I'm looking for. And again, you don't need to make all of it. Usually the breakpoint is 75%. For a cybersecurity analyst, the breakpoint is probably closer to 50. You only need about 50% of this for cyber because it's a little harder to get into. So, yeah, this is my problem with this resume is it's almost entirely blank. This entire resume, the only things I found that I actually needed besides maybe DNS is at the very bottom where you put your CompTI. That's it. If you put your contact information and then under that you put CompTI, you would have given me just as much information as every single bit of this resume because there's nothing I can use here. So again, you can keep this part, just keep it to one bullet point that just shows that what you did. But I need the projects. I need the projects to actually have the qualifications. If they don't have the qualifications, I cannot move you forward. So that is the only thing I can do for this resume. I hope it was at least helpful. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm trying to be like, oh, how you dare go into my role? No, I'm trying to do this so it's easier for both of us. I want you to have this stuff on your resume. I want to be very clear. Every single recruiter wants you to have this stuff on your resume so that we can move you forward. Because that's the truth of it. As long as you have the qualifications that the managers need, I don't care about anything else. As long as, there's a slight thing of like, I need to make sure you're not going to leave later on in the process. But as long as I believe you will stay and you meet what the hiring manager needs, I don't care about the rest of it. You don't need to impress me. You just need to show me what you've done. And this resume shows me nothing. So if you ever need more help, you can join my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST at twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter. That is where I get these qualifications for. That is where I look them up. That is where I help people with like interview tips and deeper help than I can give on a YouTube video. So join me then, like, comment, and subscribe, and let's go to the next resume. This is a resume of, I don't know, you just said software engineer new grad. You cannot just tell me software engineer. You have to tell me what you do. So I have heard that Fang doesn't really care what you do, and I've definitely met some managers that don't care what you do. But for the vast majority of roles, which I am here to teach you how to get, I need specifics. Just saying software engineer doesn't tell me anything. The difference between a back-end Python dev and a back-end Java dev are night and day. Yes, there is some overlap. Yes, you will want cloud. Yes, you will want RESTful APIs. And yes, you will want probably one more thing that you would like that I can't think of at the moment. Oh, SQL. But the rest of it is going to be different. So you can't just say I can do anything because I can't help you. That's most jobs. Again, there are going to be exceptions, but the vast majority of jobs want you to pick a stack. If you have Python, they're not going to care if they want Java. If you have Java, they only want Python. If you have .NET, then okay, cool. Maybe that could be an embedded engineer as well. So you need to tell me specifically because I don't know what to do. I can't tell. In addition, this person said they're an international who is starting work to look for work because they're graduating in May 2026. So here's a part where my knowledge, I believe myself an expert on this, and part of saying that is acknowledging when I don't know something. And for every company that I've worked with, if you could not start within 3 months, we could not move forward with you. But I have heard conflicting information about some other companies hiring that far in advance, particularly for like entry-level roles. So to my knowledge, most roles will not move forward with you unless you can start within 3 months. But there are some companies that do it that far ahead. I think big tech. I personally would like to know from experience for anybody else or any recruiter or job seekers that knows for sure what the process is like of hiring that far out. It's very rare. Like if a candidate couldn't start in 3 months, we could not move forward with it for the multiple companies. So I really want to know where everybody knows that they can start looking for a job 9 months in advance. I know the EU is a little bit different. The EU is always going to be a little bit different with that. So please let me know in the comments. I actively want to know if I'm wrong with this, because this is a part where my knowledge is reaching its point, and I want to know other people's thoughts on the matter to make sure I can give people correct advice. So, but what I can give is if this resume is good or not. And probably not, because you don't tell me what you are. So let's see if I can at least find what you are. Because again, it's front end, back end, full stack, and then if you're back end, it determines like if you're Java or Python or C or .NET or whatever. So let's go. All right, this is good. This part is good. This can be deleted. Doesn't help me. This should be one line. AWS, Lambda, good. Python and Java, okay. Nothing else. All right, JavaScript and React and RESTful APIs, okay, that's not enough. And Java and Python. Again, not enough. So this resume is sort of 3 resumes in one. It kind of reads like a full stack. It kind of reads like a Python. It kind of reads like a Java developer. And the problem is I cannot move you forward if it kind of reads like one of those. It has to read like all of them. So as an example, this is a back-end Python qualification list. So I did not see enough of these. I saw SQL, I saw React, which is great. Not React, I didn't need React. I saw SQL, I saw AWS, that was great. I saw Python and Java, that's fine. But nothing else. Like if I'm looking for Python, I'm looking for Docker. I'm looking for fast APIs or Flask or Django. I'm looking for maybe some AI. But I don't see that. But otherwise, maybe this is a Java developer. And this is what I'd be looking for in a Java developer. I'd be looking for Spring and Spring Boot and microservices and Maven and Git, other APIs, Cloud. Again, I did find the Cloud. That was good. SDLCs and MongoDB. I don't see that. I did find Kubernetes for the Python role. So, again, you need to specify what you're looking for. I understand you're not a master in every language. That's okay. It's just resumes by their very nature are job title specific. And most job titles, even if they're software engineers, require a specific stack. So I need you to break this down into a specific stack and fix the formatting. But other than that, it's not terrible. How you wrote your sentences are mostly correct. I don't care about this part, so this can be deleted, but the rest of this is good. So even if the actual qualifications are incorrect, there's Spring Boot. Migrated multiple web pages from JavaScript to React, integrating them with RESTful APIs and Java Spring Boot while optimizing backend SQL queries is a good sentence. I want you to write everything like that. That's a good sentence. I like it. The problem is the qualifications are all over the place, and I cannot move forward with you unless the qualifications are very specific. So let's go to the next resume. This is a resume of a data analyst. This person said they are in the final year of undergrad, and they are fresher, and they're looking for a job. Again, I wonder if this is the same problem as the last time, if people are just applying too early. Because this looks like you're not graduating till 2026. Like, if you were expecting to graduate in December, I'd say you can apply. But unless you're graduating like the first day of January, this may be too early. I have to ask the Council of Recruiters to see what other people think of. Because, again, no company I've ever worked for, with the exception of internships, would be able to hire that far in advance. But let's just assume this is correct. So I am going to judge this based on an entry-level data analyst. Let's see if I can at least find what I need. So what we're looking for is your degree, your industry, SQL, data visualization, any of those. Stakeholders, explaining complex technical concepts to non-technical stakeholders. I need that. That is one of the most important things. How you solved a problem with data, not what the data is. A lot of data analysts focus on like exceptional and cleaning and whatever, washing the data. I don't care. I just care that you did it. And I care what you did with it. So it's not how you solved a problem with the data. It's not how you got the data. It's how you solved the problem with data. Then I need your industry, again, like software or finance or whatever. MS Excel, macros, pivot tables, VLOOKUP, Word, Python, R, multiple projects and deadlines, and a bonus for cloud. So, will you have all of that? No, and that's okay. Again, I only need about 75% of that. So, let's go. Why did you have your high school? I don't need that. Policy. Partnership. What is partnership? Excel and Power BI is good though. Cross-functional teams. You wrote this so weird. Okay. SQL. Yeah, I only found like 3 or 4 things. I think I see what you were going through for with this, but this doesn't work. So again, the first sentence is okay. Assisted in collecting, cleaning, and analyze data, support partnership decision making during my internship using tools. I care about Power BI and Excel. The problem is, again, you focused on collecting, cleaning, and analyzing data. I don't care. I don't know what you do with the data, and I quite frankly don't care. I just care that you can solve the problem. So how I would have liked this to be written is, analyze data using Excel and Power BI to create reports and dashboards for stakeholders to understand technical problems. That should be your first sentence. And then you have another 1 or 2 to actually describe more of. Because again, you don't really describe how you communicated to non-technical people. You say that you learned analytical tools, but I don't care that you learned them. I want to know that you've used them, and I want to know that you've used them to a result. Effectively communicating findings. Again, I don't care that you can effectively communicate the findings. I care that you can tamp down your inner rage when they ask you to turn on the monitor that they accidentally unplugged, and you have to describe to them of how a Pond's trans-dimensional floop-de-whoop allows them to make decisions better. You kind of implied what you did, but remember, the rule is, if it's implied, it doesn't exist. I need it to be directly stated to slap me in the face, okay? I just don't have enough. And then I just did not get even into your this part. This took too much time. I don't think anything here is really needed. You can safely delete this. The tight deadlines is good. If anything, you should delete all of this and just only keep this, which is led video projects with teams to meet tight deadlines and maintain high production standards. And that should be the only thing here. Then we go to projects. Python good. This should be a comma, or a space, not a slash. SQL pipelines, great. To normalize 50K records with... I don't care about that. Again, this is the disconnect. Once you're in school, everything you have been focusing on is getting this correct, is showing your mastery with this individual thing. But once you get to the workforce, they don't understand the mastery. They don't care. A phenomenal data analyst and a bad data analyst are going to look the same to them, except for the ones that can communicate the process. So this is why it's not keywords. Is if it was a keyword search, cool, you would have had enough, but you don't. It's not. It's the qualifications. This can be deleted because I need it here. Design a relational schema with indexing. Again, I don't care about that. I care that you use SQL, though. Faster queries, pandas. Again, yeah, you just don't quite have enough. So assuming the starting so early isn't a problem, which it may be, and I'm not, that part, again, I'm going to have to ask a bunch of other recruiters to see if there's a single company I know of that hires that early for entry-level non-internship roles. Internships, they do hire that early. But a bigger issue is you just don't tell me you're qualified. This is why people get rejected, is you don't show me you're qualified, right? Like, this is the stuff I need, and you kind of like, it's like LaCroix, right? Like the flavor's in the other room. I need it to be in front of me, and you don't really show that. You imply it. You can't imply it. So I'm going to need you to fix this. Again, fix the formatting a little bit, but the bigger problem is with the bullet points itself. And I need some of this stuff. Like, where's the macros you did with Excel? Where is the, let's see, how you solved a problem with data? I don't see that. You tell me that you did a robust error handling, rate limiting, and you a schema with indexing, but I'm not looking for that. I just want to know how you solved a problem with data. So this is what I'm looking for. This is not, and this is why you're going to get rejected. So that's all I can do for this resume. Let's go to the next resume. This is a resume of a full stack developer. Kind of, they stated MERN developer, which is sort of full stack. The problem is I really could not find any MERN jobs. They had stuff that they were using in MERN, and again, MERN is MongoDB, Express, React, and Node.js, but this is closest to going to be for a full stack job. So what I'm looking for in a full stack role does include MERN, is TypeScript, JavaScript, CSS, HTML, Node.js, Angular, Next.js, GraphQL, SQL, React.js, API, RESTful APIs, Cloud, Agile, CI/CD, cross-functionally, and then one of these, .NET, Python, or Java, and bonus points for architecture, action language, Git, and DevOps. Can I find that? This person said they had a 1 in 25 ratio, which is phenomenal. I don't know if that's true. They also did not put any information on, so they may have just picked the first thing. I can never fully tell if people are, like, truthful in that. I need you to be accurate. The ratio always matters, all right? Please be as accurate as you can with that. So, let's see if I can find it. All right, final year. Man, okay. Can't use anything here. Can't use anything here. Okay, it's in that section. Developed entire yeah, okay. Windows, productivity scale, React, good. AWS, SQL, Node, good. Yeah, bachelor's. So it's not, I don't think this is a 1 in 25, unless this is outside the US. That might be a little bit different. I don't think it's a bad resume, weirdly enough. The formatting is awful. So first off, this coursework section can be deleted. This technical skills section can be deleted. The education needs to move up at the top along with your certs. But the actual way you wrote some of these bullet points is good. So, built a real-time dashboard, React.js, good. And then where was the one I actually really liked? It was, I swear I found it. I know you were here. I cannot find it again. There's too much junk. TensorFlow, there was one I really liked. There was a bullet point I really liked, and now I can't even find it. Here it is. Deployed a scalable backend, Node.js and MySQL on AWS with this is good. So this one I really like. But yeah, maybe I'm wrong. I don't think this is a 1 in 25. I think you picked a random number. This resume definitely needs some fixing, though. So I want you to write the rest of it like this, and I want you to actually put this tech stack here. In addition, don't just say Tailwind CSS, just say CSS. I'm also missing JavaScript, which I know can kind of be replaced in the MERN, but still I need it. JavaScript, CSS, HTML, and TypeScript. I need that stuff, and I cannot have it here. I cannot have it here. I cannot have it here. It has to be here. I need you to state how you did it. You don't have to tell me how impressive it is. I don't care. I just need you to state that developed our CRUD listing system using MongoDB, React.js, TypeScript, HTML, and CSS, and JavaScript. That's all I need. I need that. So please fix that. This is pretty quick. And again, it looks like you are also applying towards your final year. I will need to ask a bunch of other recruiters to see if that's normal, because I've been getting conflicting advice on that. Again, none of my companies have ever done it, but maybe those were just not my companies that I worked for. So let's go to the next resume. This is a resume of a Canadian full-stack developer. Qualifications are mostly the same. There's some slight differences, but like Vue.js is a little more common that we would need. I think also MongoDB was a little more prevalent. So mostly the same, still TypeScript. Also Python was pretty used heavily. So mostly the same, what we're looking for. This person completely doxed themselves. Stop doxing yourself. I cannot edit this live. I don't look at your resumes until they are live. Stop doxing yourself. And also, please never, ever use 2 columns. I have never in my entire career seen a single resume that is improved by more than 1 columns. So, let me see if I can find what I need. Because maybe, even if the formatting's bad, if the bullet points are good, it's fine. Like, I would rather have good bullet points over good formatting. Hopefully it'd have both, but, you know, let's see. So, and start. All right. C#.net, okay, that's extra. Good. RESTful APIs, good. Jira APIs, don't care about. Nothing. Okay, Kotlin. Wait, is this a mobile dev? Spring Boot and RESTful APIs, because that's mobile. What? Oh, those are projects. Okay. Yeah, I don't... Oh, I forgot to do the timer, but it's fine. I didn't find what I needed. So they said they were full stack. My problem is I don't see the full stack. So remember, this stuff I can't use. Nothing here I can use. again, and this is actually not bad to put activities. I don't think it's horrible. You can put that at the very bottom. If you get past the first stage and the hiring manager sees it, it is a conversation starter if they have the same activities. I don't think that's a bad thing to have. Should be at the very bottom, though. But yeah, this can be, like, your entire left section can almost be deleted. So then we go down to here, and I just don't find enough. So first off, I see C# and .NET. Okay, fine. Maybe this is a C# .NET developer, but where's the full stack? You said specifically full stack. I found API, but where's the TypeScript, the JavaScript, the HTML, the CSS? Where is the Node, the Angular, the Next.js, the SQL, the RESTful APIs? Which I did double say. Where's the cloud? Where's Agile? Where's CI/CD? I don't see any of that. Oh, here it is, way down here. I didn't even get to. Using HTML, CSS, good, JavaScript. Okay, that one's actually fine. So there we go. Here it is. This is actually well written. Well, I don't know if I need the S3. I just need CSS, but still, and same with Bootstrap, but this isn't bad. The problem is it's this little section out of all of this. So implemented login system to allow CRUD operations on user list and validations. I don't need. But you can just start with built front end using HTML, CSS, JavaScript for a reactive user interface, and then develop the back end with Java, good, Spring Boot, great, and MySQL. You're already halfway there. I need the rest of your stuff to be written like these two. These are good bullet points. I legitimately like these. The problem is no one's going to get down there, and if they do, they're going to miss it because your formatting's so awful. So please, your resume should look like this. From baristas to software engineers to nurses to anybody, unless you're a director, your resume should look like this. This is how to do it. This is a nightmare incarnate, and I hate it. So that is all I can do for this video. Thank you all for joining me. I can always help you out more if you need it on Twitch, twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter, every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST. That's when I do the live stream until, again, whenever work pulls me away. Sometimes it's 2 hours, sometimes it's an hour, sometimes it's 4 to 5 hours I can do it. So, thank you all for joining. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'm here to get you ahead of your job search.